He's large. Okay people, welcome back to another Fwoosh overview. Today let's take a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Marvel Studios The Infinity Saga Iron Man Mark III. And I know what you're thinking. Oh yay, Robo's reviewing another Iron Man figure. This is the, I can't even keep count, 4th, 5th, 6th, something like that Iron Man related character that I've put before the camera in the past month or two. I mean this one, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. This one's been hanging around for a while now. All these good Iron Mans coming out right now. I figure might as well get them while the getting's good. Looking at the package, it's what we're seeing with the current Infinity Saga line. There's an elegance to it, a plainness, but really all the focus should be on the figure anyway. Still can't help thinking that this is dust or something, and I keep trying to wipe it off, but it's a Starfield on the packaging. On the side, a picture of Avengers, and before we go to the back, I'm going to flip around because last time I looked at one of these packages, I thought they were both the same, but I'm guessing Hulk and Falcon and Thor and Cap here are the center of a larger artwork, and then here's the one side, here's the other, because there's different characters off to the side of them. I don't know why I felt the need to explain that. It's cardboard. On the back, there's that classic, now classic. Oh, that is dust this time. Here's a bio. Includes figure and 5 accessories, and there's the warning on bottom. Small parts. Do not place within your face orifice. That's along with legalese barcode on the top. Iron Man Mark III. The biggest reason I bought this, well, besides me liking that original design, is I got Ironmonger, and I can't wait to see. Is this childproof? What the hell is going on? I can't wait to see the two of them beside each other. Oh, cellophane, we meet again. Can't defeat me. I've got a sharp blade and a willingness to open toys. I have a strong plastic resolve. Oh, there you are again. Coming out of the package, he has his faceplate open, head on. I'm gonna start out with the basic figure with the basic head on it. And I say basic in the nicest possible. Damn, Hasbro, you made that tight as hell. I'm gonna have to heat that up. I'm just kidding, I had a heat gun in the other room. Another thing, I kind of made fun of this cover. I thought it was for the back of the hand, but it's actually for the forearm right here. I like that they did this because if this was on, I would have been searching around and thinking, does this come off? Or where's these other accessories plug in? See the seam line, not a seam line over here. But for other people who aren't toy collectors, just like Iron Man, want a figure of them, it's a nice cue. It's a visual cue. Hey, there's this, there's a plug. But looking at the figure itself, Hasbro did a great job of replicating the look of that first movie. It has that, well, I hate to say clunky. Even here, it's sleek. But compared to later models, when they were slicker and more streamlined, there's a boxiness to it, kind of a technology on the outside look. There's things I didn't even notice in the movie, like these rivets or whatever the hell these things up at the top. Kind of that classic comic book Iron Man look where you used to have those, whatever they were. They're high nipples. The tech detail peeking through from under the armor around the neckline, coming down to some lines across, I guess to just break up a smooth bicep. Then the gold continues down to here, the armor plate over the back of the hand. The elbows kind of weird me out. Or, well, they weirded me out at first. I didn't realize what was going on. I thought that was a huge pin just going through. Pinless elbows, or pin visible, if you will, and it's part of the elbow piece itself. I guess it's the emptiness that kind of freaks me out or something. Between here, it looks like a separate piece, so it makes you think, oh, is there a ball joint or something down here? But I can't get any movement out of it. The top of the legs has some nice sculpted detail, kind of this under tech again, because it flows down underneath another piece of armor, which is again one of my favorite details of this armor because it still feels like armor. And I believe that's a pin sticking through, and I thought, why didn't they pin visible the lower half too? But they did. I guess this is a movie detail that just happens to work for a pin detail. But I like how it flows over the knee. From hip to ankle, it looks like one solid piece, especially hidden by armor parts. There's a cut, and you know what we're looking for articulation, but it's not until we actually bend it that it, well, even then, it has a nice flow. The foot is also nicely covered. These armor bits sticking down are kind of a softer material, that gets out of the way of articulation if you want it to. Great details down at the foot, another plate, a toe guard, the back of the foot. That made me think there was a toe joint. Ooh, Hasbro, you're tricking me. But I guess that's just a movie detail they worked in. Then the head works perfectly with the rest of the body. Looks great, very movie accurate. It has that mean look to it. You know, when he's walking towards an enemy, you're kind of intimidated by it, and I feel the same way whenever I look at the figure. Paint wise, I wish it had a little blue, or does it? Like it has on the arc reactor. There's a bright white with a faked paint blue glow to it. They also did a great job with the golds, because looking at it, the base red for the most part is swirly twirly plastic, but it's not as swirled or twirled as what we're used to seeing. I don't know if they toned it down or did something different. You can see it the best on the abs. It has some metallicness to it. Overall, you don't see that kind of swirling cloud effect, which I don't mind, especially on comic book figures, but this makes it feel more MCU-ish. But they did a good job with the metallic gold too. For some engineering we're not used to seeing a lot in Marvel Legends, there is a drop-down hip here. And unlike G.I. Joe, it looks like they used a pretty big solid peg, so I don't feel like it's going to shear off when I rotate forward. Then for the shoulder pads, this is something I associate more with Star Wars because it's more prominent in my brain seeing it there, but I think they've done it with Marvel Legends too. The shoulder pad is attached by a plastic tab, or well, it's not attached. This whole thing is molded to come down and then ring around the shoulder peg. When I first messed around with it, it made me think there was a butterfly joint in there. But that's actually the ring itself, and then the shoulder peg is long to connect past it. Unfortunately, that gives the whole thing kind of a gummy feel. It makes the peg itself feel flexy. So even after messing with it, butterfly joint? Yes, no, yes, no, no. Going over articulation, there is a dumbbell joint at the top of the neck. Can look up about there. Push forward, looks down. It allows for this. Peg at the shoulder means swivel all the way around. Detents are kind of tight, and you gotta watch the shoulder pad. Outside of that is a hinge that brings the arm up to here. Swivel at the bicep, nicely hidden right at the shoulder pad line. Double elbow, look at that, on an armored character. That's fantastic. Swivel at the wrist, and then see that hinge right there? There's not a lot of clearance, so it doesn't give you a lot of movement. In fact, let's pull it out of there. Loosen it up a bit, see what happens when we put it back in. It loosened up a bit, gives you some movement. Torso, what is going on in there? Can't see. Looks like a dumbbell, but you get some crunch, you get some arc back. This is amazing though. Gets all the way around, some hula hoop. Drop down hip, comes forward that far, goes, ooh, back. Out. Iron Man, you're better than some Spider-Mans. Swivel at the thigh, nicely hidden behind the armor plates. Double knee, I've already done this. I've blown the surprise for myself, but beep, 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 beep. The foot is attached by a peg going up into the leg, so there is horizontal turn. Hinge that goes back, goes forward. Can we avoid that armor plate? A little bit. And then a front-facing pin for rocker. For accessories, in the package, Iron Man comes with 2 fists. They're kind of tight. And there are 2 repulsor blasting hands that are stuck in the repulsor blast position. That's so they can have this armor plate on the back of the hand up over the forearm. Now, I get why they do this. It's just an overall better experience and easier and cheaper. There's less parts involved. There's not a hinge for this back plate. There's not a hinge in the wrist right here. And not to be an apologist, if I had these hands in, I would probably have them blasting like this. Although a relaxed hand would have been nice too. Then, like I showed way at the beginning, this plate on the back of the arm comes off. Love that detail. Didn't need to be done. Will be covered 99% of the time. When you do pull it off, oh, well, there's detail on the back of the plate too. Then you just plug in one of the 2 attachments. The first one, there's some double rockets going on. Looks great, just like the arm opened up, rockets came up and out, but where did they come from if this is this skin tight? Movie magic! Then there's also this shield. Is that what it was in the movie? It opened up and he blocked things or something? Again, wonderful detail with the exposed tech parts, this whatever the hell this is in the middle. Again, like we swapped at the first. Oh, that's tight. There's also this head with the faceplate up on top, and you can see Tony's face through it. That same motif of exposed tech working its way up to here. The eyes, the eyebrows, the mouth, the mustache, just everything punched in nicely. It's a nice addition, but I like my Iron Man. Oh, it went on. Cool. I like my Iron Man fully armored. After messing around with it for a bit and going back and getting another Iron Man, which we'll look at here in a minute, I'm afraid that if you leave the arm up in a action pose or something for an extended period, that's going to stay up slightly. It just involves some heat or, you know, leaving the arm at rest for a while. It'll work its way back down, but don't expect it to go right back to position. Also, I forget about this. So when I'm messing around with it, posing or pulling hand or trying to get a pose, I'll get this turned off to the side. Or when I feel it, I think I broke something. It's not fragile, but it's just one of those mental things. And then the drop down hips, they make the legs overall not floppy, not flimsy, but they like to drop down. Then you have to work it back in or push it back in. It's another thing that you have to remember to put back. Those aren't bad things. That just comes with the territory when you're super articulated, but I thought I'd point them out. Iron Man stands at about 6 11/16 inches tall. And here he is with a couple of other Marvel Legends MCU Iron Mans. Here's the end game. I think I apparently have a problem with this that's been pointed out many times in the past month. And then the Mark 7. See what I mean about the shoulder pad? I've had this in a repulsor shooting blast pose for the past couple weeks, and it will not go down. I haven't hit it with heat. I'm sure it'll go back down, but for the moment, that's where it is. I like how these two are the same size, using the same era tech for the armor, but then later on, it gets more, you know, streamlined, more skin tight. So maybe there's not as much repulsors down in the feet or something, makes them slightly shorter. At least that's what I'm telling myself as I have them side by side right here. I don't have a lot of the older Iron Mans, but this is a mold from back in the day, I think. Here's an Iron Patriot, and here's a newer Iron Patriot, both Marvel Legends. But this is the biggest reason I wanted to get this. Ironmonger is spectacular. That pushed me even further, because you need the pair, right? You need them to face off. And then here's the Legends Hulkbuster, because I forgot to compare those two in this review. Here's a couple of other recent Iron Man reviews. The 30 DLX Iron Man that I wish was smaller, and the Sentinel Fighting Armor Black and Gold Iron Man that I wish was slightly bigger. And then the Kyoto Amazing Yamaguchi Iron Man, and the Mezco 1/12 Collective Iron Man. Gonna be big for your SH Figure Arts display. Marvel Legends comic book. I didn't expect this. I thought it would be reversed, but there you go. So at the end of the day, it's actually one of my favorite Iron Mans I've gotten so far. I do wish the reds on the armor were a little bit darker, a little bit deeper. Well, deeper is the wrong term, isn't it? But a darker red, I feel like would match the movie a little bit better. And then the articulation, which is more than enough, isn't going to get you quite import quality, but you're also not paying import prices here. And to get it in one of my preferred movie looks from early in the MCU days, that's even better. For them to go all the way back, pick this up again. And that's the great thing about this Infinity Saga line. They can just pick and choose. Oh, we didn't give you a figure from this movie, or we didn't give you a great version from this movie. Here's this, here's that. And I'm perfectly okay with that, especially if they want to ramp it up with nice little accessories and hand options and head options. But like I said, this was mostly to complement my Ironmonger, who comes with a sexy, sexy bald and bearded guy action figure. Where'd it go? It's somewhere in there, but this will completely work. I am super happy with this. So if you enjoyed the overview, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus if you're interested in seeing videos early or in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. I do recommend putting the arms in whenever you turn the shoulders. Those detents still seem a little tight even after I've messed with them a while. I also noticed a little bit of glue. Oh, that comes right off. There was glue or some kind of residue on the top of the head. Yeah, scratching right off.